Hello, lovely people. Ashley here, saying hello and sending my love to you in whichever reality you find yourself in, from me, wherever I happen to be in, whichever reality I happen to be in today, because as we know, we jump about all over the place. Well, to be honest, there is a million different subjects that I want to touch on and talk about with the Mandela effect. I go from a personal point of view, really. That's what I put my feelings into my vlogs. However, I really need to talk about D-Wave computers because, and I want to make this quite clear, this is not me explaining the Mandela effect. This is not me saying anything about that. This is just me passing on some very interesting information. Right, I'll start off by saying, where the bloody hell did D-Wave computers come from? We're all talking about it like it's perfectly normal and natural. It isn't. I've seen videos about it, and obviously since I realised that I'm Mandela affected, I realised that all of the different things that were happening to me were called the Mandela effect. I mean, obviously I have researched like a mad woman trying to work out what the bloody hell's going on. And I did look into D-Wave computers and, and was like, whoa, that's incredible. Whoa, think about, where did that come from? Where D-Wave computers? They're actually saying they've got D-Wave computer. Where did that come from? And I was questioning that, but nobody else seemed to be. Nobody else seemed to be questioning where the bloody hell D-Wave computers were coming from. And Elon Musk as well. I mean, oh my God, where did he come from? But that's by the by, that's another topic. But yeah, where the bloody hell have D-Wave computers come from? Where has this quantum technology appeared from? Because believe you me, where I come from, and that's the original Orion Earth, not this shit that we're in now, the original Orion Earth, there was no such bloody thing as quantum mechanics, right? And the reason why I'm making this vlog today is because things have like come together to me. Yesterday it was, no, not yesterday, day before, I actually prayed again. I do it quite often, pray, and I ask God to show me things that I think that he wants me, put me in the right direction, show me things that he wants me to see, which is actually why I found the Mandela effect in the first place. After praying about it, I eventually clicked on one of the links and my mind was completely blown. And this is what I did. Well, today I was watching a Royal Institute lecture, because I'm a bit of a geek really, and I've always enjoyed those sort of things, about quantum mechanics and quantum theory. Quantum theory. He's a very, very intelligent and fantastic man to listen to, because he puts it in terms that you can understand. Even me, I could understand what he was talking about. Anyway, right at the end of this lecture, oh no, hang about. He'd actually said at one point that CERN was turned back on in 2015, and since then they'd found, and I quote, absolutely nothing. He said since CERN was turned back on in 2015, absolutely nothing has been found. Now that 2015 has always had a thing with me. I first realised in early 2016, but I do know from watching and looking at many of your experiences that about 2015 was when it really started going a bit mental, wasn't it? So he'd already said that, so I'm like, right, okay, but keep an open mind. And it was brilliant. It explained all kinds of things, the waves, or, quarks, all kinds of stuff. Oh, it was incredible. And then right at the end, he said right at the end that he was looking forward to the time when a quantum computer was built. Bear in mind, this is 2017. In 2017, this highly educated professor is doing, he's giving a presentation at the Royal Institute about quantum physics. And he said in 2017, he was waiting for the quantum computer to be developed so that it could help with their, help them to predict their, with their equations. It's all mathematical, isn't it? Oof. Way above my head, that bit, the maths. Anyway, that really perked my interest. So I decided to ask Google a couple of questions. The first question was, when was D-Wave technology invented? Now, the only thing I could find, the first thing I could find was a a link to 2010. 2010. In 2010, the very first customer of a company called D-Wavy or something like that, they had their very first customer to use their quantum computer in 2010. And their very first clients were none other than Lockheed Martin, weapons developers. They were the very first people to use this company D-Wavy's quantum computer, and it solved a very an equation that they've been 30 years, I think they've been trying to work on it, and it solved it. But there we are. So here we've got a professor talking about looking forward to quantum computers being developed in 2017, and on the other hand, on Google, it's telling you that the very first quantum computer to solve a problem and first customers was for Lockheed Martin in 2010. 2010. Which, where the bloody hell did it come from? Everybody's giving it, oh yeah, D-Wave computers, it could be that. But where the bloody hell did the D-Wave computer come from? It wasn't where I was. I was where that professor was. I was where that professor was, 2017. Kind of, do you know what I mean? They hadn't been developed. Things were not talked about like that. It wasn't natural. There's a professor saying that. There's a professor saying that. Now, I'm not saying it's about D-Wave computers, and I'm not saying it's about CERN, but I am saying that these are quite interesting bits of information, aren't they? CERN was turned on in 2015, and their new project was to go beyond the Higgs boson and to find out the very meaning of the quantum world, which anybody that's affected, we all know, we all understand that bit. We're moving about. Reality has changed. Somewhere along the line, and don't get me wrong, it does fit in totally with biblical prophecy, because Satan will use any means to win. We know that. It says that. It's written. And you think D-Wave computers have not been around forever? Like, why would a respected professor actually talk about waiting for them to be developed in 2017? Where did Elon Musk come from? All these things are interlinked. I'm not saying I know what the answer is, but I do know that something very supernatural is happening to us, and I just wanted to partake that information to you. When did you know about D-Wave computers that are like jumping about in the universe and dragging? I mean, they're openly admitting, what's he called? Rosie, not Rosie Shaw, I can't think of his name. That was, I can't think of his name at the minute, but Geordie, oh, can't remember. He actually said that they're jumping in and taking bits of other dimensions and bringing it back. Well, what a paradox. What an absolute... You see, I've always been interested in these kind of things anyway. I wish I wasn't to this extent as being actually Mandela affected by it, because I'm still as freaked out as I ever... You know, I have been on all of the other... all of my other vlogs that I've watched. I've made. You see, the thing is that we're all desperately trying to work out what's going on, and we don't know. We can't know. But just passing on this kind of information to each other, it's helpful, surely. Surely, it's helpful. I know it's helped me a little bit. It's made me go, what? There's a 7 years discrepancy there. A 7 years discrepancy, and not something that, you know, that I understood to be normal in my timeline or in my normal reality where I come from, where I belong. See, I actually wanted to do a vlog about Orion and Sagittarius arms, because I'm an Orion original, but this is not my original Orion, and we've even moved now, you know, we're halfway up the arm, but that's a story for another time. In the meantime, please, just think about that. Think about that. I mean, we're all going through incredible situation. And something is happening that we can't understand, and we're desperately trying to. So any bits of information that you find out, please let me know. Pass it on. Pass it on, please. Because I'm trying to put the dots to things, because it's not just logos changing, it's my surroundings in my natural life. And so to watch that lecture, I got answers that I never expected. Still, that leads to a gazillion other questions, obviously. Gazillion other questions, but D-Wave computers, Elon Musk, all of that shit was nothing to do with my world. It was nothing to do with where I come from. We were nowhere near that. Nowhere near that. You know, it's... So... I'm still trying to work out what the bloody hell's going on. But I wondered if anybody else out there is just, you know, was thinking the same as me. Where the bloody hell did this D-Wave shit come from in the first place? So I hope I've given you a little bit of food for thought. As always, thank you everybody who has reached out to me, connected with me. I really appreciate you, because you've made me feel so much better. I don't feel anywhere near as panicked as I did because it was the being alone bit that was just driving me insane, and I've met some really fantastic people. Thank you for all your emails and for taking the time out to connect with me. I'm having a bit of trouble with my emails at the moment, so if I haven't got back to you, please bear with me. I will be. So thank you everybody for making me feel connected. Dale Dufay, you know, you do brilliant things. EYA with the Bible changes, absolutely awesome, thank you. Oh, so many. Jay Chris, so many people. And of course you don't have to have a channel to be important. I know I'm not important, and that's another thing. People keep accusing us of thinking we're important. We don't think we're important. I'm shit scared about the whole thing. I don't want this. I don't think any of us want this. And if you're not affected, take time out to actually look at how distressed people are. Stop taking the piss. If you don't understand it, fair dues. But look how distressed people are. Anyway, the main thing, to be honest, the main thing for me is love. That is the driving force of the whole universe. That is the point of it all. I do know. Well, I'm going to touch on these. I've got other things that I need to say, but I'm not going to like pack it all into this. I'm going to leave it at that subject of D-Waves. But I do have other things that I want to say, so I'll be chatting about them later. In the meantime, thank you so much for making me feel like I'm not alone anymore, and for sharing your thoughts and your ideas, and that's what it's all about, isn't it? So thank you so much.